Elise Pereira versus Monste Rendon. I was almost as excited for this fight as the main event, frankly, only because I've become invested in her career, having done multiple videos on the subject. Youngest fighter on the active roster, youngest female fighter ever. Because there's no question this girl has potential. Again, I've broken all of that down in the videos. Go check them out if you want. But on this video, I'm gonna sort of break down their fight, just go through it round by round, my thoughts, what I think the future might be now having seen her in the octagon. It ended in a split decision, right? I'm not going to lie, when I watched it live, I did not think she was even going to be getting that close on the scorecard, frankly. But I just went back and watched the fight in totality, and it was actually closer than I thought watching it. I'm going to go into the reasons why and what I think she could have done differently. But one thing is for certain. I mean, Alice Pereira must have sponsorship from Peloton because that girl was on her bike the entire time. I think it's a big contributing factor to how she ended up losing on the scorecard. But let's get into it. So first of all, just even getting into the octagon, she's smiling, she's bouncing up and down. I mean, you could clearly see this girl's a kid. She's just super happy to be there. It was kind of endearing, frankly, just her personality in general. So fight starts and you can see right from the very first, 10, 15 seconds what the strategy is. Any of you fans who are like technically oriented, when you're fighting an orthodox fighter, their left foot's forward, their power hand is the right? The right hand, right hook, right jab, right cross. Elise Pereira wanted to stay away from that punch at all costs. And the other thing is they really wanted to ensure that Pereira was not going to get taken down. So when I say constantly backing up and moving to the right, like she was jumping from one side, she would escape to the right and then back up all the way to the other side of the octagon, make Rendon come chase her, and then she would unload either body shots or a 1-2, kept swinging her overhand right. In terms of overall strategy, at the end of the first round, I was like, okay, I get it. Like, it doesn't look great when you're basically running the entire round, backing up. But at the same point in time, they were trying to mitigate risk. They didn't want to get taken down and they didn't want to get caught with a big power shot in a 19-year-old's first fight under the bright lights. On two of the judges' scorecards, Elise won. I mean, she landed, in my opinion, the better shots. Rendon was kind of frustrated, just chasing her around, trying to get something clean. I mean, she attempted a flying knee. At one point, she did get caught in a single leg up against the cage, but she defended it well. And then on exit, she landed a couple shots. Not huge, crippling power shots, granted. I mean, the crowd was already booing. But enough that she outstruck her opponent and hit and landed the better shots, in my opinion. You could see it when she went back to her corner. They were coaching her, take your time, pick your shots, be patient. I mean, I think they thought that Monste Rendon, being Noche UFC, being a celebration of Mexico, would have to force the action and then they could hopefully catch her when she was, doing something wild. So, round two starts. Clearly the same strategy, for the first at least 3 minutes, Elise is backing up. She'll stop, wait, size up her opponent, come 1-2, and then back on the bicycle you go, circling away to the right over and over and over. And it was largely working. I mean, for the first 3 minutes of the second round, I thought Elise was winning, even if it was not the, most aesthetically pleasing performance. I think she was up on points. Rendon, though, finally had enough. She just kind of lunged in, pushed Elise against the cage where she stumbled, and then Rendon just went in and started unloading. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not that they were, again, like crippling, huge shots. She didn't get her head turned or like caught on the chin. She ate a few, but the pressure of that happening caused her to then start like running away, not circling away methodically, but like literally just backing up like, and Rendon chasing her down, throwing wildly, looked terrible, from the judge's perspective. At least you could tell also got a little pissed off, got a little like, oh, okay, you got me. Now I need to get you back. So she, for the first time in the fight, started coming forward. I mean, she was throwing a couple Superman punches. I would say there's about 30-second of that round where Elise moving forward was working, and it was like, oh, okay, here we go, the momentum switching. We're gonna get some like standing in a phone booth and trading, and then Rendon caught her with a big right hand, and then back on the bicycle you go. Right? This is like, okay, wait a second. My coaches told me I'm not supposed to do this. She got caught against the cage again, one of those where she just kind of ate a few and sort of turtled and fell forward. Rendon pounced on her, started kind of hitting some side head shots, and transitioned to the back, saved by the bell, frankly. And then here's the thing, right? So you see this in MMA all the time. The first round, one fighter wins, but it's like a slim margin. We'll call it wins on points, right? Then second round, the other fighter who lost the first round ends up doing something, putting the other fighter in danger, doing something to get the crowd excited. And it's like, oh, wow, okay, you got dominated that round, got your ass handed to you. We move on to the next round. There's always this tendency for the fighter who won the first but then got dominated in the second to have to kill the momentum, reverse the momentum. Because if you narrowly won the first and then significantly lost the next one, I think in the judges' eyes and certainly in the fans' eyes, it's like, okay, well, it might be 1-1, but the person who won definitively in the second round, you need to do something to overcome that, because if it's just a close round in the third, we're going to have to give it to the person that won the second because it was more demonstrative. So third round comes. I mean, her corner's like, hey, let's go. This is your life, word for word. Don't be intimidated. You've trained for this. She kind of punked you in that second round. So like, get your shit together and go out there and don't let this chick push you around. So in the third round, we got some more standing in the pocket. And, again, I thought Elise was winning the exchanges. She was hitting Rendon with more 1-2 combos. Rendon's punches were usually more lunging, coming in. Maybe she'd get one and then miss 1-2, and then, okay, Elise is out of range. Elise even attempted a takedown at 4:15, which I actually need to stop and pause there. Rendon didn't get a single takedown on this 19-year-old fighter. So as far as strategy goes, it worked. She successfully defended all 5 of them, but still looked sloppy. Still, it was wild and chaotic and kind of exactly what you would expect from someone who's been training MMA since only 2013. A 19-year-old against a 36-year-old with way more experience. Encouraging, if not at the same time also an indication that she's not there yet, which I guess we all should have known. Last 20 seconds of the fight, she at least had defended a takedown and then got some nice punches in on the exit. Again, she was sort of getting the better of Rendon, in my opinion, with strikes. But then there was a little wild exchange. Rendon came in, cracked her one, and lost her mouthpiece. So visually that's also detrimental to the judges scoring for you. But she did respond. She actually landed like a 1-2. I don't know if it's a flying knee, more like a standing knee that she caught her with. But Rendon landed the last couple strikes of the round. So after the knees, she kind of went in 1-2-3. At least gave her a big slap across the face as time was expiring. So if I had to summarize this entire thing, basically, I think that Elise did do enough to win round 1 and 2, with the exception of optics. There's just no way that you can back up the 11 or 12 minutes of a 15-round fight, even if you hit your opponent more than they hit you. I know the significant strike numbers online look a little bit different. Again, I think Elise won the striking battle, but aggression counts. And Rendon had that in spades. Elise was too tentative, or it appeared tentative, even though I think it was specifically the game plan. So I don't know if there's a criticism on the coaches for the game plan. It's more a case, I think, of the fighter herself, you know, needing to be managed in her first ever fight of her career. What we're going to see next from Elise, I mean, I hope a good 8 months off between fights to refine her technique. I think her punches need to get a lot more technical. She does one of those like DDP kind of put your head down and just do this when you're coming in, which, listen, works for some fighters. It's not as aesthetically pleasing. I think you know, if you want your power and your timing and your accuracy to be better, you should probably see where you're punching instead of looking at the ground when it happens. I'm not an expert, but either way, lost in her debut. It's not the end of the world. Her career's not over. She still has a lot of promise. The size, guys, it's 5'11" bantamweight. She's gonna have some power, and if she can refine the other stuff, we'll see.